I Google.
Yeah! Hello, everybody. Oh, gosh, soda again. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Nerd Rant. I'm your host, JJ, aka Junior Wolf, and this is...
Jeff.
Jeffrey Bezos.
On at night. Okay. No, we're not gonna get copyrighted. Wait, that's not. We're not YouTube.
Is that
Spotify
copyrighted?
likes people.
Is that copyrighted?
I don't even know. I'm
That's
Dr.
that one
Zombrain.
guy that made Welcome to the Internet.
Bo Berman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He also has a Netflix show, so it might be. He's big.
Dang, bro.
It's not like a small random thing. Like he's big.
Anyways.
But that's not the point. The point is Fortnite, guys. There's a concert. But well,
No.
we'll tweet about it.
No. I forbid you from speaking about this. This episode is not about Fortnite.
But literally, are we gonna probably compare about how Fortnite runs?
Shh! Don't say that. We don't need to curse this episode with Fortnite just yet.
Just yet. Keyword.
Just
yet.
yet.
Hey,
Just
I hope I
yet.
sound top notch. I got a nice new.
Wow. He's playing with the mute button. He got a microphone from the same brand as me, HyperX, but it's like their lowest end one.
No, I saw a cheaper one. It was like $3 cheaper, but that's not the point.
Oh gosh.
Anyway, so what are we talking about?
We're talking about
we're gonna fight each other.
consoles.
We're gonna fight each other.
Yeah, console
Because
wars,
mobile
baby.
is superior.
Yeah, mobile, baby. Let's go. I got my Apple iPod. Let's do this.
Yo, I wonder how well Fortnite Chapter 4 would run on that iPod.
Probably not great.
I don't think it could run. Let's be real here. If my
Yeah.
PlayStation 4 started struggling, then what's
If
an
it can't
iPod
run on
gonna
Windows
do?
8, then yeah, no, I don't think it'll run on an iPod.
No. That's pretty much gonna be the whole episode.
Yep.
Just kidding. We're kidding. Okay, so we do have a few different points we want to talk about. I got a PS5 with my Christmas money. JG has a pretty high-end. Where would you rate it? Like, it's obviously not high-end because it's still a laptop, but it's also not no potato.
I'd say in 2020, it was one of the best you can get. Because I looked around for a good laptop with a graphics card in it, and I really could not find one for a good price. So $800, it has a RTX 3050 in it, which is pretty good, Intel Core i5. So it's by no means a weak laptop, but it is still a laptop.
Yeah, so there's still limitations. I did have a PlayStation 4, so I hate saying that PS4 is last gen, but it is now. That just blows my mind. Because when I got my PS5, JJ's like, it's about time. It's like, bro, I didn't get a PS4 until 6 years after that launch. So it's weird being on current gen.
Yep.
But I currently have a PlayStation 5, brand new, not refurbished, not used, brand new. I had a PS4, I played on PlayStation 3, so I've played on pretty much all these gens. I played on a Switch before. JJ's brother has a Switch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you used that much? I know you obviously haven't played Fortnite on it or something.
We've played some
So-
Lego games and Animal Crossing.
I'm gonna say that we're gonna be going around and comparing what's our best, some console exclusives as well, and we're gonna have some ideas on where the future of consoles can go.
Whoa, that's crazy, dude.
And mobile.
And mobile, because mobile's superior. Let's go.
Honestly, like, mobile has the biggest numbers. Like, that's a fact. That's
I mean,
a blatant
let's
fact.
start there. Like, everybody's been talking the past few years, and we can see like the uprise of like all these indie devs going there. Mobile literally conquers gaming in general. I think it's like 80%
Yeah,
of gaming.
that's what we did when we did our mobile episode. If you really want to deep dive into mobile gaming, you should go watch that episode.
Yep, one of our first, literally our first one.
Was it?
Apart from
No.
Fortnite. It was our
Apart
first
from
non-Fortnite.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. Apart from Fortnite. I'm
Yeah.
like, no, Fortnite.
Yeah.
No. Especially, yeah, mobile games, it's huge. We have small games, indie games, AAA, like, you know, Warzone 2 is going to be coming to mobile soon. Call of Duty already was, but we also have our smaller games, you know, random, like, tapper games, you know, wait and collect. What was the game that you were playing? Tower or something?
Tiny Tower. Yep.
Right, like, it has so much, but the thing is, like, everyone has a phone. Not to mention, here's some, I'm going to relate it back to Fortnite. Fortnite might be coming back to iOS this year, which is going to be huge, because I was watching an Aussie Antics that apparently, when mobile got cut, a lot of the prize pool went down a lot. So it looked like they were getting a lot of funding from mobile, which makes sense, because everyone has a phone.
Yeah. Yeah, I very much see if they can bring it back, I think we're going to be getting bigger and better stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I think if they are able to secure a spot on Apple phones, then we could get a Fortnite movie in the next couple of years. Like, genuinely,
Yeah.
I feel like it would happen.
Now, here's the other thing. What iPhones would be able to run it? Because, like I said, like, you know, new gen, like, even if they have a lot of the graphics cut because it's a mobile phone, there's still going to be a limit. So where do you think that's going to be? We're at an iPhone 14 now. Do you think it's going to be like 10, 7?
Well, what's like the iOS version of it?
16. I don't know what the oldest, because I remember my iPhone SE, which is like a 5.5,
Yeah.
was still getting up to 15.
Yeah, well, the Android, you have to have Android 10, and I think they're on Android 15 or 16 by now, or something like that on the new phones. My phone is Android 10. So, and mine runs it okay. Like, it crashes, granted, but it runs it okay.
Yeah, so just anything that runs the current iOS, I guess, what you're saying?
I'd say probably the current and maybe like 2 to 3, maybe even 4 versions behind it.
Okay. So that'd be great, but that's not the big thing. We're talking about general consoles, but that's Fortnite. We're obviously gonna mention a little bit of what Fortnite about all these, because that's pretty the only game I've played on my PlayStation. I've played other games.
Slap you.
No, but yeah, mobile games is big. You have big games like that, and the fact. But I think one that I want to mention with all that is the fact that shows how significant mobile gaming is. If
Yeah.
we're able to get a Fortnite movie thanks to mobile funding, that just shows the magnitude of mobile gaming versus
100%.
everything else.
Yeah, and I think that's a good segue into the Nintendo Switch, I think, because I think that's what they were going for with that. You know, I think they wanted to try and capture a console in mobile form, and we actually see it did work quite a bit. Like, a lot of people went for that, and
It is
even
their
more
most
people now are buying the
popular.
Steam Deck because you get all these
most-
PC games on it instead of just Nintendo.
So I was watching a Mr. Who's Your Boss about the evolution of like Nintendo devices, not like everything, but like, you know, the Nintendo 64, the Wii, and like the Wii U, he was saying the reason it failed so hard was because everyone was kind of confused if it was an addition to the Wii or like a Wii 2. But pretty much what the Nintendo Switch is it is the perfected Wii U. And you can very clearly see the similarities. But it's a success. Like, it runs everything. But another statistic that I do think we're going to mention with a few of these consoles, compared to, like, I've been watching a few of these videos, like Evolution, like PlayStation and Xbox, it only had a 1.75 times increase in its processing power, which is very low compared to almost every other one. But you can see how useful that was, not trying to make that, because now it is only cheaper, it's affordable, but you can put more time into these other projects, especially with Nintendo, who also is making the games.
Yeah.
And we can see that with, you know, Breath of the Wild, Pokemon Arceus.
Yeah, no, I agree. I feel like Nintendo's just been going down that line for a long time, and it's one hand because they can't afford to make bigger consoles like Xbox and PlayStation, but it's also the fact that, you know, there is a bigger market there, so it makes sense to go with portable devices.
Which honestly is where they kind of started. Like, they weren't really caring about trying to compete with these other studios. They just kind of cut it off. And you can really see that with their wacky controllers. And they did a lot of controller innovation throughout the years. And you really see that with the joystick with the Switch as well. They kind of decided, it's like, we don't stand a chance. If they tried to battle head-to-head with PlayStation and Xbox, they'd be dead by now.
Yeah, 100%.
But they just decided to go their own route, and it helped. It worked. Look at the popularity of the Wii, trying to bring in casual gamers that can just vibe in their living room.
Yeah.
So there's a place, and like you say with the Steam Deck, like, that is a huge market, like, that no one else does. The PSP tried, but, you know, and I guess Cloud kind of counts, but as their own specific device, Xbox doesn't. Has Xbox ever tried?
I don't.
Because
No,
there's
I
the
don't
PSP,
think
there's the
they have.
PlayStation, Visa,
I
whatever.
mean, unless you want to count like the Windows phones that they had.
I didn't know those
obviously
were a thing.
Xbox is Microsoft, but yeah,
Yeah.
No, they had phones that ran Windows before, and they were more so PCs in a phone form. But you know.
Okay. I guess they kind of dabbled, but I feel like that'd be a huge market to cover for anything. And because Nintendo pretty much has a majority of that market,
Yeah.
mobile, like, handheld gaming.
Though I think if they tried to enter into there, they would beat Nintendo, because like once
Yeah.
again, Nintendo is very to themselves with everything, and because of that, I feel like if a player stepped in with all of these different games, like cross-platform and everything, I feel like they could definitely, dare I say, take down Nintendo.
It really stinks, but we do have some talk with, maybe some talk with Nintendo later. But let's go into do you want to talk about PC, or do you want to talk about the consoles first?
Let's delve into
I also-
PC. Let's
Okay,
get that
I
one out of
also
the way.
I also want to say this is also gaming. So like obviously we're not going to be talking about how the Xbox Connect or or how well my PlayStation runs Netflix. This is specifically gaming and like all that sort of stuff. So PC, yes, it can do so much more, but as a gaming device, that's what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah.
It sucks. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
PC
think-
Master Race!
I think the big thing with PC is the library. I think that is one reason PC is where it is.
I mean,
the library.
not only that, the fact that a PC is literally everything that consoles can't be at the same time. Like, a console, you have your OS, and it is all but customizable. Like, think about it like this. PlayStation and Xbox both have had their menu screens, and a big complaint everybody's had over the past, who knows how long, I think past 3 gens, has been the lack of customizability in their home screens. And I know, obviously, PlayStation has their themes, Xbox, you can change your wallpaper, color scheme, whatnot, but you don't change layouts. You can't change layouts for anything. And on PC, any person can make their own software to make a layout. There are stores to buy different softwares. I downloaded one today to get myself widgets for my desktop. There's so much you can do on PC for customizability that consoles can't. And I
But
think
like I
that's
said,
something
that's-
that's definitely holding it back.
Yeah, but like I said, the big thing is PC is superior in the fact that it is not a gaming device. It is not only PlayStation and Xbox are pretty much only built for playing games. They're not made to be using Instagram. Well, Xbox
is
is
very
made for
much
TV.
a multimedia center.
It's made for TV and TV. Did you also know it's made for TV?
I'm gonna slap you.
Am I wrong? Wasn't that one of the whole market for the Xbox One?
Sure.
But yeah. So obviously yes, PlayStation is PC. Both begin with a P. I'm tired, everybody. Give me a break.
Definitely.
So obviously yes, PC has a library. You can do more with it.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I do want to say that I also realize is a big problem when people complain about console versus PC. I'm also going to say, JJ, do you have a set opinion? We're not going to argue about it. Just do you have an opinion
Console
on
versus PC?
Yeah, console versus PC.
PC.
I'm console. I'm just kidding. I
You're
don't care.
wrong.
I don't care.
If you're console, you're wrong, my friend.
I don't care. I have my preference of PlayStation. But I feel like one big thing with them that people don't talk about when I see all these videos about this versus that, affordability.
Yeah. No, hands down, if you need something affordable, consoles are by no means a bad idea.
No.
If I'm
If
I'm a
want
dad
to-
out here
yeah.
trying to find a way to game, but also, not splurge on a massive PC that can handle everything, by all means, buy yourself an Xbox, because that's it's an excuse to have a platform for all your streaming services, but at the same time, it's a perfect gaming device, and
Yeah,
I mean, if you need to, it's a lot more portable than a PC as well.
exactly. So yes, if you really want to, there is no question. This isn't controller versus keyboard and mouse. This is device. There's no question. If I had the money, I'd buy a full setup. I'd buy a nice monitor. I'd buy this, but it's expensive to get a full setup.
Yeah, no, I think I spent, what was it? Around $800 for my setup, and that's not counting my PC. That was an additional $800. So that's $1,600 on my entire setup, and it's,
But not to mention,
it's
you
not
have to buy
the
a
greatest
new mouse too, so you probably could spend another $40-50 on that if you want a nice mouse like my
Yeah.
Razer or something. So
Yeah.
it adds up.
And
But
technically,
if I
this
had
isn't
the
even
money,
done.
yeah, if I had the money, PC. I'd still probably use my controller because I like the feel of the controller and my brain can handle that better. But yes, PC, it has better specs. It just costs more money. Whereas,
No, I agree.
yeah. So I just wanted to say that. But PC, yes. But here's the other thing that I do like about PC. not only does it have a wider library, the stores. You can have Epic Games, you can have Steam, you can have Windows, like the Microsoft Store. That's nice. It's nice to pick and choose. If I like, or Blizzard, right? Like, it is kind of annoying to have like 3 different things downloaded to play games. But it's the fact that, hey, I want to play Steam with these friends, okay. I have this selection of games, but if I want to play it like this, these types of games, if you want to support this creator, well, I can either buy it here where, this is one big thing with Epic Games that we're going to talk about a little bit later as well. Royalties, like fees.
Yeah.
If you want to support a creator, you should almost always buy it from Epic Games. So if you have that option, buy it from Epic Games to choose how you want to support that creator as well. Especially with the fact that the creator codes, right? I can put my I can put my Cypher PK code in, and when I'm buying a game in the Epic Game, not just Fortnite, when I'm just buying a game from Epic Games, it supports it.
I love
that's
that they're
one
doing
big
that as
thing.
well. Like, I've been trying recently. I know probably PC people have heard of it. Humble Bundle. It's a website where you buy like a bundle of games or individual games, and a portion of the money that you buy the game with goes to a charity that you can choose. And I really like that idea, and I think I bought one bundle with like a few games in it, but it gives you Steam codes. So, you know, you're still getting the games you wanted on the platform you wanted, but you're also at the same time helping charity. And I feel like Epic Games is going along those lines where you're still able to support people you want to support, but also get the games on the platform you want them.
I mean, you could also see that with the whole Ukraine thing, like just everything from Fortnite. So that's one definitely thing that I like about PC. So it has its options, which is great. That's another nice thing about like just PC, like, you know, like you were saying, like customizability. Like it has its options, but that's not like, as a PlayStation, I also just have a lot of games. Like, cool, I can't support it, and I do like that PC version, but it's also not like something that I need, because I can just buy my games. I can buy them digitally. If I had a disc one, by the way, I do have the digital PS4, PS5, but if I wanted to buy a game, you can buy it used, yada yada. So like, there's still options that you can have when it comes to console, but it's definitely more when it comes to PC.
Yeah, that's true. Oh boy.
Anything else about PC?
I mean, so much. I could talk for hours about PC, but that's not what the episode's about.
No. As a gaming computer, like what would you say about that? Like, again, this is specifically gaming.
Performance-wise?
Just in general, like, you know, I say like your libraries to choose from games, like performance-wise.
I mean, I feel like
how you go about playing games, right? Like being able to plug in a controller. How well can you do that for most games?
Yeah, no, I can't speak for Mac. I don't think anybody uses Mac for gaming.
Nobody does it for gaming.
Place,
it is an office. If you're using a Mac, it is most likely 99% of a chance for office use, not gaming.
Yeah, Windows is fantastic for gaming, because not only is it Microsoft, so you have that like everything Xbox
PC
built
Pass,
in.
right?
Yeah, you PC Game Pass and whatnot. So you know that's really helpful if you need just a library of games. Switching to controller is like as easy as it could be. You literally just plug it in and it works. So it's really useful.
How many games have a controller compatibility?
Almost
on like
all
PC, almost all of them.
Yeah, there are very few games that don't have some sort of controller compatibility. Some of them are a little bit scuffed, especially if it's an older game. But
but especially depending on the game, you know, with how many. That's another nice thing. This isn't really what we're talking about, like keyboard versus controller. It is so nice having the button options. Fortnite is only getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
For button options.
So many new buttons needed.
Like playing like Scarlet Nexus, it is a pain in the butt to have to press square, triangle, hold L2 to then press triangle to do the ultimate. Like, it is not fun. So that's one reason why I wanted to ask that, because that's a whole other thing, being able to convert. Because like one thing that you've been doing, if people have been checking out your stream, you've been playing Spider-Man on controller, right? So like, just being able to switch from that, like, you know, Fortnite you do keyboard and mouse, but you know, is it do you play Lego games on controller? I think, right?
Yeah.
So like, just being able to switch, but the fact that there is still keyboard and mouse access too, right?
Yeah.
So it's just nice to be able to bounce back and forth, whether you like it or not, for this specific type of game. Like, I'm sorry, I don't care how good you are, controller's better for driving games.
I agree. PC
So, like,
is so hard.
If I want to go play Need for Speed, I want to make sure I can easily switch to my controller.
Yeah,
So-
I tried playing Forza because Jaden made me one time, and I tried it on keyboard, and I was like, how, with 4-directional movement, do you do this?
Yeah, like when his mouse broke, we were playing Fortnite, and he tried to drive, and it was so much harder
Yeah.
on realize how nice it was to use controller. But anything else performance-wise? I guess that's really the last part we should talk about with PC.
Just the performance customizability, I think. Because on console, almost all of your settings are locked in. There might be like a low, medium, high, but like there's nothing there that you can like change and customize to your wanting. Whereas on PC, literally everything, like Fortnite as an example, I know.
Yes.
It's like I have, 30 more settings than you do on console?
I don't have any. I have color blindness.
Yeah, so I have like all these different things I can change, like graphics, render distance, lighting, water effects. Like there's so much.
Imagine if I can turn off ray tracing and like turn off the lighting. Imagine how well this would run.
It would run so well.
Like that is again a nice thing, but I don't really know why. Why don't consoles? Because Xbox is the same. Why don't consoles have some kind of setting for visuals?
I don't know. I mean,
because like I know there's certain things that's harder and they're doing, like FOV in Call of Duty, like that's added now. Like in Modern Warfare 2, you have an FOV slider on console. You didn't have that before. So that's one thing, but like just being able to turn off like shadows or something like in Fortnite that PC can do, why can't consoles do that? Because especially for the last gen, like that'd be really nice.
Like I guess maybe just like Xbox or PlayStation in general just can't handle like that much change, because those versions are made specifically for different graphics settings, and you know they can't support certain things more than others. I guess the point of the customizability is just like if I wanted to have good lighting but not good water, then I could do that, whereas on Xbox it might not be able to handle good lighting, but it knows it can handle these settings together.
Okay. And again, as Fortnite as an example, whoa, what a shocker.
Yeah.
I know one thing, like there's always that talk between and we can talk about that. Do you want to do PlayStation next? Because I can just talk about.
Yeah, sure.
So with my PS5, there's this really cool feature where I'm booting up a brand new game. I can have some automatic settings built in, whether it's difficulty, like I can do easiest, easy, medium, hard, and hardest. Like when I start a brand new story game, it automatically does veteran on Call of Duty, right? It also has graphics or performance. So like that's another big thing, right? Performance versus graphics. So I can make it look great, but it might run at 30 FPS, or I can run at 190 FPS, but it looks like PlayStation 1. Which is what a lot of people do when they're for competitive. Like when I see competitive gameplay, I hate it because they play on such low settings, and literally you don't see half the textures.
It's rough.
It runs better, sure, but like, is it worth it? Is it worth it?
They're just like a generation behind.
No, they're like 3 generations behind at this point. I'm sorry, PlayStation 2 looks better than some of those streamers.
Yeah, I'm probably right.
It's bad. So that's one thing, but so there. What should I talk about? PlayStation. First off, is PC exclusives, right? That's another thing I wanted to talk about. PC exclusives. It has a lot. It has a lot.
PC has a lot of exclusives?
Like that you can only play on PC. Like Java, like there's also versions, but like Java edition of Minecraft, only on PC. But there's a lot of
edition though.
Yeah, but like just, that also came first.
Name a story game that's exclusive to PC, right?
I don't know, like, but there's plenty of games that you can only play on PC.
I mean, I guess in the multiplayer side, yeah, I can think of like League of Legends, Valorant.
Yeah,
like a bunch of those competitive style games.
Story games, not so much, but that's because you don't really need to. It's kind of easier to do a story game on other OSs versus a whole, multiplayer setting with UI, all this other stuff, right? Like League of Legends, like being able to transfer, that'd be a lot harder to do to consoles and PC versus just story game. So yeah, multiplayer, lots of exclusives. But obviously it's been getting better. I feel like as of lately, there has been less exclusives on PC, like games that are only on PC. Like we look at Minecraft and Call of Duty, like crossplay, being on all the devices, right, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that's another thing that's been getting better. I think it's only going to continue. Like we're seeing Miles Morales and like stuff like that, like Spider-Man on PlayStation, Epic Game Store. Like all these studios are kind of breaking that bridge of only being by themselves. Except Nintendo.
Except Nintendo. Mario still is not on Xbox. That'd be pretty legendary.
Dude, if I would totally get Zelda for the PlayStation 5, bro. I'd be no life in that thing. But JJ, okay, so this is a random like thought question. Imagine how much bigger Pokemon would be if it was on other consoles. Imagine how big
massive.
Pokemon
The amount
is
of money
honestly
they would
like
make
the
then.
biggest franchise, right? Like we talk about this with our IP. Like I'm still pretty sure it's like the biggest IP out there.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if it was on PlayStation and Xbox.
They'd be making billions, bro.
Like, it's a really good idea. They just don't.
Of course, on one hand, they would lose a lot of console sales for it. Because people no longer need to buy the Nintendo consoles in order to get the games.
But here's a thought. What if they just don't? Like, what if they don't just be like consoles? Like, what if they just become a game developer studio? Like Activision or something? Like, yes, they'd be losing money, but like in the long term, would that be terrible?
Honestly, at this point in time, that might be a better choice for them.
Like, just focus on their games. Be able to make higher quality games because they have all that money now going into games.
I mean, we've seen how the
versus trying to
Pokemon game has
progress.
gone downhill.
Yeah. Just spend time on your IPs because that is what you make your money off of already.
Yeah, 100%. And, you know, the games they make are honestly a lot better than the consoles they make.
Yes.
So, I feel like...
Nintendo Switch is great for the idea of being able to portable, but if I'm just sitting down, there is no point in buying that other than for the Nintendo exclusives. That is the only reason I'd ever get a Switch, to play Breath of the Wild and play Pokemon. Because, like, why would I ever play Fortnite on that when I have a PlayStation 4 that can still run it better? PlayStation 5, obviously, like... So
I think if they did become a game developer solo, I feel like it'd make a lot more sense for them business-wise, because then they're making all their money on these games that they can now share to other platforms, and they don't have to worry about putting out these high-effort consoles to players. And, you know, their public image might become a little bit better, because then, you know, people see them as not like, ooh, they're the greedy studio who makes you buy their consoles. You know, they keep all
that's
their
what they are. Like,
themselves.
people just get annoyed because everything's only on Nintendo devices. Other than Pokemon Go.
Yeah. So their public image would be better. Everybody would be happy because there's games, and they won't have to spend money on consoles. Seems like a good choice, cough cough Nintendo.
But hey, JJ.
No. No.
JJ.
No.
That makes sense. So it's not gonna happen.
It's so true.
It's that I feel like we're like halfway through, but I feel like when we get to Xbox and some of these other ideas for the future, it is going to be so many of those.
This is true.
So let's see. Exclusives. Is there any exclusives that you really like on PlayStation that you know of? Because I know there's let's see.
PlayStation?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
The
like
only
that you
ones
know
on
of.
PlayStation are now on PC, so...
That's true. God of War, it was Spider-Man for a while, still kind of count that, because with a lot of these exclusives, I feel like what's going to happen is they're going to be here, and maybe when they get to next gen, they will just go on PC, right? We kind of saw that with I feel like that's how Spider-Man PS4 was.
Or I think maybe when the next game in the series comes out, because I definitely do not think that they're going to release Spider-Man 2, the game, on the PC. Like,
No,
I
it
do
already
not think
was.
that's gonna
Like,
happen.
it is PS5 exclusive at launch. At launch. So maybe when Spider-Man 3 or the Spider-Man Miles Morales 2 or whatever. So they're exclusive temporarily. So there's Spider-Man, God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn. Is that one game or is that the name of the series? I don't...
Just Horizon.
Just Horizon? Okay.
Yeah.
Horizon and Gran Turismo?
I don't know what that one is, but okay.
That's Forza PlayStation.
Okay.
That's the PlayStation driving game.
Gross.
I think that's really it.
I mean, yeah, so, I mean, on one hand, we kind of asked for this, right? We had said in our private conversations earlier that, like, Xbox and PlayStation. Xbox is a lot more friendly when it comes to exclusives. Like, there are very few exclusives that Xbox has, whereas PlayStation had a lot more. And now I think PlayStation is sharing them a little bit more, becoming a little bit more open. And I think it has been good for them because they've made a lot more money off the Spider-Man franchise.
Oh, actually,
alone,
becoming
and
to
then,
PC, like,
yeah,
that's
Last
going to
of
be
Us
huge.
and stuff like that is going to be absolutely massive on PC.
How do you feel about it? How do you feel about the compromise of it being exclusive at launch?
I think that's
Even
fine.
Xbox,
Like, honestly,
like even if Xbox did that, like what if we got the new Halo? I don't know anything, but say that they're making a new Halo game, right? What if it was exclusive on the Xbox at launch, and maybe when the next game, or maybe like think like Call of Duty, there's seasons. What if maybe the second season comes out and now it's available everywhere else?
yeah,
Something like
I
that.
honestly like that idea. Like a
Like a
I think at minimum
compromise.
like a year down the line,
Yeah.
then release it on the second console. Because then, you know, it's still, hey, we're still Microsoft and we're rewarding you for using our console, and you know, PlayStation for the
Same thing for their games,
Yeah,
but
and it
everyone's also happy
yeah.
because you just got to be patient. You just
Yeah.
got to be patient. Like I would totally wait a year if I was on PC for a Spider-Man game. Like they're great.
Yeah.
Like Halo, it's not my favorite franchise, but say that I liked Halo and I wanted to play it, I'd wait a year to play on my PlayStation.
Yeah,
Like I think that's a good compromise for all exclusives.
yeah.
Cough, coughs, Nintendo, just give it to us, please.
We want Zelda.
Okay, and Karen, Sherry, we were watching Try Not to Laugh, and there's the Guardians that sit there, and when you did the broken down Guardians, and it was a meme of like the Home Alone people. And I'm like, bro, I get this. I want this so bad.
Yes.
It's yeah. So let's see. I think that I'm looking up exclusives. There's some other random ones like Sackboy. Might be one.
Spirits. Oh no, that's on PC. Never mind.
Yeah.
It's not
Uncharted.
On Xbox.
Uncharted.
Uncharted, yeah. That's also
Yeah.
on PC though.
But after time, right?
True, true.
Last of Us, I believe, is the same thing. It was exclusive. Also, I think GTA 5 was originally PlayStation exclusive. That's what the Mr. Who's Your Boss video said. Apparently it launched and now is an exclusive at launch.
Dang, bro.
Yeah. And I feel like, okay. Yeah, I think that's really it. Big stuff that people care about, and anything that was exclusive isn't necessarily anymore. It's just like Spider-Man. And then graphics-wise, I pulled up a Xbox comparison, and we're gonna switch to Xbox after this. But for processing power, for some specific numbers, but just generally, PlayStation 5 is very similar to the Series X. The only thing that I can see, because on their websites they don't have this comparison because it's not different. The only difference is there's a disk drive or not, whereas for Xbox it is different on a few different things. The only thing I think is different is the PlayStation 5 has 10.2 teraflops of processing power, but almost everything else is the exact same as the Series X. So I'm just going to list some of these stats. For example, up to 120 frames. You do need a monitor, which I didn't realize, which sucks. So I can't optimize on that front.
Yeah.
It has about a terabyte of storage. It has the USB ports, true 4K, 1440, and 8K video. I think unless we want to talk about the audio, the DTS, I don't think there's anything else we really need to talk about.
I know exactly what those are, so you know.
Yeah, so other than that, they're practically the same to the Series X. Do we want to go to Xbox now? Because we have a few other topics we need to talk about.
Sure.
Do you want to talk about this since you're the Xboxer?
The Xboxer. Sounds like a terrible boxing name, like from Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 1.
Oh, ray tracing. I guess that's another big thing I should probably say.
Yeah.
Ray tracing's big. PlayStation 5 has that as well.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain ray tracing while you start?
Sure. Ray tracing, for anyone who doesn't know, is basically it's the device simulates what real rays shining past objects would look like, because it can trace the shadows and
It's real-time
without
light
the nerdy
tracing.
terms. Yeah,
Real-time, because
it
like we look
bounces
at
off
other
surfaces better.
And like with that PlayStation video with the PlayStation 1 through 5, like watching the Gran Turismo of that game, it's really cool seeing the difference of lighting. Like eventually when that was added, you can kind of see it on the bumper, but it wasn't that big. This one you can like, again, I'm going to pull up Fortnite. Ray tracing, it is great because I can like, when I box up, it is completely dark in there. It is pitch dark. And if I open a window, it just shines, like it flashes, bouncing off my metal armor differently versus my cloth. Like it is really high. Like that is, I feel like that's like the highest end of lighting at this point. And lumens, but we don't know what that is.
Yeah, not quite. Though I'm sure Timothy probably would. He can explain it to us.
Probably.
sometime.
Timothy, let us know in the comments.
Yep. Anyways,
Okay. Xbox. Yeah.
Yeah. So, here's the thing with Xbox, right? I might be a little bit biased, but I feel like they are the nicer of the two studios between Sony and Xbox. I feel like they tend to play a little bit nicer when it comes to games. Obviously, they've had less exclusives. I
have a reason they're American. Sony is Japanese, which is also where Nintendo comes from.
Yeah.
Like
they're in
actually,
the same grapevine.
actually, like let's be real. That's probably why. Like just Japanese roles. Like we look at not communism, capitalism.
Yep, capitalism.
Capitalism with Microsoft being American, they have that more capitalistic viewpoint. So they're gonna definitely do things differently, like being more open.
Yeah. I will say though, they do have their fair shares of screw ups, 100%.
Red Ring of Death.
Oh, dude, our Xbox did that 3 times.
So actually, when I was watching that, I didn't realize that people just like this is completely like okay. I'll take the PlayStation had that too. They had a yellow ring, like a yellow light.
Oh, really?
There's a problem with that too. I just don't think it was as bad because overall there's other problems. Like I feel like with PlayStation 3, the big problem was the pricing because it had a custom port. Like they had really high end. So that means it was more expensive.
Yeah.
But Xbox had the red rings of death. That was like the big thing with the Xbox 360, which we can maybe do on a different time. Maybe we could do a history episode on consoles.
History of the consoles. That'd be interesting.
Because there's a lot. Because that's pretty much what I feel like we keep talking about. But keep going on Xbox.
What was I gonna say? I blame
You're biased.
I am biased because they're
friendly.
They're nice.
Yeah,
they're nice. When it comes to the actual battle between the consoles, I feel like they're just a little bit more friendlier. Like, I don't think they want PlayStation to die, like, at all. Because not only is having a monopoly bad, but at the same time, I think it's better to have a competitor because that will give them the chance to make more money. You know,
that's
having
what
a secondary platform gives them the chance to also make money off that platform if they put their games over there.
This is going to be like in the second half, we have the future. But like when it comes to Apple versus Samsung, Xbox versus PlayStation, whether you like one or not, you want the rivalry because they are driving each other to be better. Think about what PlayStation did first versus Xbox. Think about what Xbox did versus PlayStation. They both have grown from each other. So whether you like one or not, the console wars are a good thing. They're building off each other, and it's a good for all gamers.
This is true. Just don't be toxic about it, guys.
JJ? What? I'm just kidding. That's Jaden.
Yep, Jaden's pretty toxic.
He's toxic about not getting an Xbox.
Just for context, we've been telling him to get a new Xbox because his one is broken, and he literally will not.
He passed up on the $60 Series S. Like, bro. Yep. Because of the disc drive. Meanwhile, all I ever see him play is Forza and Fortnite.
Yep. Which
you can definitely get for free.
This is true.
Anyway, any other differences, or do you want me to list off some of the different? There's only 2 spec things. If you just want me to quickly list them off.
Yeah, the teraflops and
the storage.
Yeah.
So for storage, obviously, with one thing with the Series S, it's affordability. The Series S is for the digital, if you don't realize, because I know that's one thing I don't like about the Xbox versus PlayStation. Which is new gen? Is it the 1? Is it the S? Is it the 360? Is it just Xbox? Whereas PlayStation is just a new number. 1, 2, 3. That's just me though. But if you didn't know, Series S is the digital. It has a 512 gigabyte internal storage, which The other thing with that is it is also that doesn't include the operating system. So even though mine's a terabyte, it does have the operating system, so it's more like 600 for all that other stuff. And then teraflops, the S has a 4 teraflop processing power versus 12 of the Series X. And the Series X also has 1 terabyte. That's really the only difference. Almost every other current gen console has the exact same things: 8K video, 4K disk drive if need be, true 4K, 1440, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So
they're pretty much tied in terms of specs, which makes sense. They're both new gen consoles. The real difference is going to be the OS and how that performs.
yeah.
So
One thing I do think we should both mention, whether we like it or not. I'm just kidding. No, I don't care. The fact that the Series S affordability, like we were talking about with PC, Series S is definitely the most affordable, especially with that $60.
100%.
Like the what exactly do you know about the teraflops? Like, what is that?
So teraflops, to my understanding, is along the same lines of like what gigahertz would be for a PC. Like it's basically just the speed that things would run at, like how well things would perform.
Okay. So like, yes, it's not as great, but it's not like a noticeable difference on the Series S. It's still probably better than a PlayStation 4, Xbox One, even with that. But it's affordable. Like, it's always been on in stock, right? It hasn't sold out. There hasn't been a struggle with that. It's always stayed around the same price. It's been affordable, and that's great because, again, whether you like Xbox or PlayStation, it's gaming, right? That's gonna drive sales forward for everyone. Like, it's gonna make more people happy gamers because of its cheaper price and everything.
No, I genuinely think Xbox made more sales on this console, this
cycle,
this generation of the console than they had the last, because they released it alongside a more affordable version.
Yeah, because that was what I was saying with the TV. Like, it was hilarious. I was watching the PlayStation video and how bad I saw this Xbox One, because it was also Xbox One, which I want to say PlayStation also has its troubles with the fact with the Kinect. I don't think Kinect really hurt Xbox.
It was rough, I think it was mainly the craze over the Wii that made the Kinect
Oh, absolutely.
come out.
Yeah.
And we just did not have the technology for it at the time. Like,
no.
As cool as it would have been, I think we could probably do it better now. Like, I think there's a high chance that with the technology these days, it would happen.
That's another reason why the Switch did better than the Wii U, because in the 3-4 years since the last one, it had that technological advancements.
Yeah. And I think there was a Kinect for the Xbox One, but it was not nearly as used as the one for the 360.
Was it the 360? I thought it was the one that, like, they really tried to drive home the Kinect.
I couldn't find, like, any Xbox One bundles in existence that had a Kinect in it.
Probably because it all died.
At launch, they had Kinect.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, at launch, and then it kind of killed it.
Yeah. But Xbox 360, we had a Kinect. Like, we gave that 360 to our cousins, and they have that Kinect now and a bunch of games for it. I played, like, 4 or 5 different Kinect games, and they were good games. Like, by all means, they were
I just
fun.
think it's the fact that it was so forced.
Yeah.
Like, if PlayStation did that with VR, whether they had a good VR system or not, like, even now, like, right now, that would kill them, because it's like forcing that extra thing. Like, if I want VR, I'll go with PlayStation. I have a PlayStation 5, it's gonna run it fine, and it has like joysticks and everything, but it's just a matter of forcing that on everyone. But how can we succeed as gamers, JJ? What is the future?
Not dying.
Well, we're gonna die, inevitably.
How dare you be negative?
Do you know what else is gonna die? PlayStation and Xbox and PC, because mobile is the king.
Yep, mobile will succeed forever.
Yep. And then out of nowhere, there's gonna be Sega coming back.
The fact that a phone can be more expensive than a freaking console these days is outrageous to me, because it's not nearly as powerful.
Do you know who's gonna beat us all, actually? Sega.
Ah, yes, the Sega console. Let's
yeah.
go.
Sega. Okay. So this part of the conversation we've already had, kind of. It's been a while, but Windows definitely has that advantage or Xbox has that advantage because they're both owned by Microsoft. Windows owns JJ, you said what I'm gonna say.
Microsoft owns Windows and Xbox, so they have the
PC
advantage where they can link
console,
them together.
Whereas Sony, PlayStation does not. So, with one thing that we saw with Epic Games, there's actually like $1 billion investment in Sony from Epic Games, or is it Sony into Epic Games? I think it was Sony into Epic Games.
Yeah, Sony and Epic.
So, here's one thing we're gonna think of. Nintendo Switch, just honestly, there we go. The entire whatever we had in our last conversation, we're just gonna forget and become game developers. That's gonna be their success. That's their future. Nintendo should just be game developers and stop trying to worry, especially with the Steam Deck. Imagine if they just teamed with the Steam Deck and make that affordable. Like, that would just, that's all we need. They don't need to worry about that, especially if the other competitors want to. They're gonna kill Nintendo.
Yeah.
But the big, part of gaming is how much the PC Pass has, the Xbox Game Pass has, and Windows and Xbox. What if Sony made an operating system? Not Sony, Epic Games made an operating system. And they already have Unreal. They have the ability to, with Unreal Engine, to make that.
Yeah.
It's obviously not necessarily using Unreal to make an entire OS, but they have the knowledge to do that. What if we had a Epic Games OS, and then Game Pass and PC Pass, what if you had the same thing with Sony and Epic Games?
Mm-hmm. So all of your PlayStation Plus games would also be available on Epic Games if they're on PC. Your PlayStation Plus Pass would get you free PC games as well, and you'd have a library from Epic.
And we'd be able to get some more PC games, what's some good PC games that Epic Games would have. I don't know if Balloon Tower Defense is on PlayStation.
It's not on consoles in general,
so there'd probably be that.
However much that might do.
Either way, there's definitely going to be some transfers. I don't know. The only thing is with that, I feel like I can see PlayStation games going to Epic Games and maybe some Epic Games, but there's not a lot of Epic Games that would. Because a lot of the big, we were talking about PC exclusives, Valorant, Epic Games can't do that. That's going to be completely third party. So there won't be, compared to PC, Windows to Xbox, there's definitely a lot there. That won't be there as much.
With this, I think the biggest issue is Epic Games is too nice, right? I think I don't think they do that just because they're choosing sides then, and the way they've been playing things, obviously in the terms of Fortnite, they've been much more happy with PlayStation with all the PS Plus bundles and whatnot,
and console cups and everything, the PlayStation.
But then when it comes to the Xbox bundles we've been seeing recently, all three of Epic's free-to-plays have had free stuff. They're very chummy with both sides of the war here, and I think if anything were to happen, it would be more along the lines of being an open source OS, where you might be able to link everything to it, right? I feel like Epic would be what's a poor example I can use here? Like OBS.
Linux.
Or
OBS.
OBS is an open source recorder, right? You can add anything to it you want. There are different modifications you can download and put on it. I think if Epic were to make an OS, it would be along the lines of that, where yes, it is an OS in and of itself, but you are the person who gets to customize every aspect of it, right? You get to download these different things. Maybe from the Epic Game Store, you can download different mods for your system, or download different themes, whatnot, stuff like that.
Yeah. That seems that's really the big thing. Epic Games just seems too nice. They're really the nice in everything, right? But honestly, the reason we bring that idea up is the fact that there is definitely, we kind of talked about this on our anime streaming service, Monopoly. It's not technically Monopoly, but it definitely feels with them in the gaming world. When we bring up the number of all gaming being done 80% on mobile, there's not a monopoly. The monopoly is on mobile end.
Yeah.
When it comes to big AAA titles, it is Xbox and Windows. That's where everything goes. You have that access, etc., etc. We're playing games, right? We're playing Fortnite, and Jaden's Xbox doesn't work. They can JJ very easily has Game Bar to then connect with Jaden, who's on an Xbox party. There isn't that on for PlayStation because it's literally built in. Like they are made by the same creators. They have the code to very easily make that transfer.
But if Epic Games were to make an OS, imagine a case where you could have a bar for both Xbox and PlayStation.
Imagine a party with Xbox and PlayStation, like a PlayStation party with Xbox players. Like that would be huge.
It would be freaking massive. Yeah.
And again, with this whole talk, this would be good for everyone. Because imagine if Windows, which already like kind of owns so much, imagine if they did have something to fight against. They'd want to improve.
Yeah.
Sony could totally, not Sony, Epic Games would totally be nice and build these incredible drives of friendliness for these different communities, which should also help.
Imagine if they made it so that you could have your PlayStation Plus and your Game Pass all on Epic Games Store. Like even that as a first step would open up so many doors to just all three sides of this. Like
that'd be huge, and nobody would be mad.
No,
who would be
literally
mad?
Nobody would
the
be
people
mad.
That are insane would be mad.
Because then not only is PC now a way to get all three sides of it, but at the same time, Epic Games can be the sort of middleman between PlayStation and Xbox and help them, learn how to share.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Yep.
What else? Now, I think we did talk about Nintendo in our private conversation, but whatever it was, I legitimately think we should throw Nintendo. I don't think they should team with anyone. I think they should just be game developers. Yep. I think that is the best opportunity for Nintendo to succeed.
Like, we don't hate you, Nintendo. That's sort of not true, but like we want you to live, just not in this form.
We just look at it like, yes, there's success, but there's success because they're greedy. Even PlayStation is very much growing. Yeah. Look at Call of Duty, right? Like, it was very much like you could only play on your one. Now there's everything. Minecraft, it took a while for PlayStation to get the Better Together update because they're doing better. Spider-Man's on PC now. Like, they're growing. They're still a little stubborn, but they're growing. Nintendo, not even close.
Yeah. It's like, no, you guys want Zelda? Haha. You think you can have Pokemon?
Spend another $300 on us.
No, did you hear about what they did with the what was it, GameCube or something like that?
What?
They closed down one of the stores. I think it was like GameCube or Game Boy or something like that. So you can no longer buy games on there. And they said they're not going to be porting those games to the Switch. But if you try and pirate them some other way, then you could be banned. So there's no way you can play them or purchase them fairly anymore. But if you try and do that against our terms, then guess what? You're banned.
See, I was in Just Press Play the other day talking because I wanted think about getting like a DS or something so I can start playing some Pokemon and Zelda games. And they were talking about rumors of GameCube or something coming to Switch because there already is a few old like Wii games or something on Switch or something like that. So that's the complete opposite.
Yeah.
Of what I heard. Yeah, Nintendo, we like you, but you suck.
Yeah.
Please just throw out the Switch. We like the Switch, but why don't we use that when we sit in our desk all day?
Exactly.
Like, yeah. What else would we want to do for the future of gaming? Where do you see Xbox and PlayStation possibly having like a PSP 2? PS Vita, like a handheld device ever?
Xbox, by all means, yes. With the way that they're going with cloud gaming, I 100% see them doing something like that, where it just instantly links to cloud gaming.
Do you see having a device, or do you see them just trying to perfect cloud gaming, and just since everyone has a phone already?
Well, no, I see them making something along the lines of Steam Deck, where it's just like the OS is practically cloud gaming. Like Game Pass is the only library you have on there. You can buy Xbox games and stuff, and it just uses cloud gaming to port to your console, because that would run a lot better than having to pay for all these different specs that the Steam Deck has. So if they just use cloud gaming as the specs, then I feel like that'd work out for them.
And then they can also, since again they're owned by Microsoft, which is a huge corporation, they'd also be able to maybe put some extra money in for, if they did this, put some extra money into that system. Maybe the servers or something for cloud gaming, trying to improve.
Yeah.
Do you see Sony? I don't know. I don't know how well the PSP did. I feel like it didn't do well. But again, that's for the time, right? That was like Black Ops 1 time. Like now, I feel like that could do pretty well.
I mean, I feel like, is PlayStation VR 2 out yet?
I don't think so.
Okay. I guess once that launches, if that performs well, I'd say yes, they could launch a mobile PlayStation alongside the PS5 that works like along with it. I think that would perform well if the VR does well.
Yeah. Let me Google it. PSVR. Pre-order VR 2.
So it's not out.
So they're in pre-order, but it seems going to be coming soon. Maybe I should look into that. That could be fun. I've always been mixed on getting a VR because I feel like I'd throw up.
I thought that too, but it's not so bad. It's just certain games that it's rough with.
Yeah. I would totally play Minecraft.
Beat Saber!
Dude, Minecraft would be
Beat
so
Saber!
fun. Well, I could play Beat Saber too, but like, imagine how fun Minecraft would be. Like, turning it into peaceful and just doing some farming.
I love how we completely neglected VR in the console wars.
Because it's not. Like,
It practically
there.
is a console, right? Like, we had the Steam VR headset. Like, that was a thing. And there's the Oculus,
so.
which is just completely in and of itself a console. And then there's the Vive,
But
which
don't
is
you
technically
need-
PC gaming.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I feel like you need. Does just the PlayStation run it? Not the PlayStation. Does the headset run it?
With the
don't you
Oculus, yeah,
need-
just the headset runs it. Like, you download things from the headset store. Like, it doesn't even have a cable that plugs into like a power source or anything. It's just a complete wireless headset.
Yeah. So maybe, but like I feel like that's such a new thing that compared to what everyone has. Like, how many people have a VR headset?
I mean, I
And
feel
are
like it has the
constantly playing
potential to
that.
explode with the PlayStation VR. Like, I think.
No, it's going to. I think it's a future thing. But as of right now, how many people have an Xbox Series S and PlayStation 5 versus VR headsets?
PlayStation 5?
5.
Oh, I thought you said PlayStation 5. I'm like, what?
No, that's Fortnite. Come on. No, I think it's a future thing, especially with Sword Art Online, the anime, right? There eventually is full dive where you fully go in, like you're in your bed, and you can fully feel the touch, sensation, taste, smell, everything. I think that is where the future of gaming as a whole can go. But as of right now, it's not
I
there.
don't want it to go there. Let's not do that.
Why? Because we might die in game and then die in...
Yeah!
Nah. They're gonna be safety checks.
Oh, yeah.
Like, make sure there's only 1/10 of the deadly radiation coming from of it.
Sure.
No, but in some sense, like, I feel like VR is the future of gaming. It's just not there yet. Like I said, like motion sickness and everything, that's still a problem with some games. Imagine if they figure out a way to fix that and like maybe do certain things, you know, when, for example, a treadmill that you could run 360 in your house becomes common. Like stuff like that. Like to have a full VR set, you need a big room, etc. Like JJC, my room, whether I want a VR or not, I'm gonna have to sit still.
Yeah.
I ain't running around. So when stuff like that becomes more easily accessible, I will definitely say VR is something we can talk about more. But as of right now, I feel like it's just so limited. And the fact that you need room, you need this and that. You know what I mean? So it's not the fact I don't care about VR. I just feel like it's definitely a thing that is the future of. It's just right now, it's still growing. It's still like being birthed.
Yeah. Well, I think we can wrap it up there, honestly.
No, there's more.
Uh-oh.
JJ, you suck. Okay, guys, have a good day. Goodbye.
No, absolutely not. Oh gosh.
Do you have any other final remarks though? Like what you want to see with gaming for consoles wise? Not necessarily like specific video games, but like as consoles. JJ, something that's actually plausible.
I want to see PlayStation die.
Didn't we literally talk about how they help? Like I was looking up like the whole Game Pass is come to PlayStation, but also PlayStation has definitely done things better than Xbox in the past. Like we look at the Xbox 360 versus PlayStation 3. I feel like PlayStation had better multiplayer. because it was also free.
That's true.
You know, like, both consoles have their pros, both consoles have their cons, both consoles have had their flops. We had the red rings of death, but PlayStation also had a security breach during the PlayStation 3 time, which put a lot of, like, people's data at risk. Everyone has had their, you know, their ups and downs, I think is the best way to put it. But we need both. If one were die, I feel like that'd be a loss for everyone.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I'm sorry, but do you know what? It's okay to die.
Nintendo.
Nintendo.
Yep. All right, we'll leave it there. Thank you all for listening.
Wait, JJ, what about gaming watches?
I'm gonna slap you. Thank you all for
Okay,
listening.
peace out. This is Nerd Rant.
Yep.
Make sure you go subscribe to our subscribe. Well, you can subscribe to our Spotify. You know, hit that follow button, hit that bell on mobile so you know
Follow
when
our
next
social
episodes
medias
come out.
at Nerd Rant
At
Podcast
Nerd Rant.
on Instagram and Twitter.
Yep. And how do you feel about this episode? This type of content? Let us know in the comments.
Yep. Let us know.
Give us feedback, please.
We need it. We need your feedback.
Okay, that's
bye.
it. Bye.